it only allows the flow of blood from the right atrium. As you can see how the structure is, if blood flows from the right atrium into the right ventricle, it can easily allow. But when reverse flow is going to happen, this is going to fall backwards and close the opening. So by looking at it also, you can easily say it's just a common sense. You can see how the way it looks, it is going to be preventing the backflow from here into the atrium. Similarly, and this is, if you know what is this structure, atrium, and this is the ventricle, then you can say it is the atrioventricular valve. You don't have to say bicuspid valve or tricuspid valve. The bicuspid valve is referred to the one on the left side, and the right side is called tricuspid valve, and bicuspid is also called mitral valve. Just say AV valve or atrioventricular valve, that is sufficient. And it will be all very obvious. The thickest chamber with the thickest wall is the ventricle, and the ventricles form the inferior chambers, and the atrium from the superior chambers. And the ventricles inject the blood into the arteries by means of semilunar valves. So if you just say semilunar valve instead of the pulmonary valve or aortic valve, that is going to be sufficient. So this is the aortic valve here, and this is the pulmonary valve. These are semilunar. So these are the opening into the arteries. These are the semilunar valves, and these are the atrium, and these are the blood is flowing from the right atrium into the right ventricle, and passing by an opening known as AV opening, and is guarded by a valve called AV valve or atrioventricular valve. And it can only allow the flow in one direction. If you just take a look, you can quickly say that it's going to allow the flow from a smooth part to a more rough part here. And backflow will be prevented by when this thing will fall backwards. So that is, and the thickest chamber is the left ventricle, easy. And the question could be why this is the thickest, because as you have been told, it pumps against bigger circulation, the systemic circulation. And if there are typically going to be 3 questions, and there will be simple questions, and some of the questions will be very simple. If you know the one answer, the second answer will be obvious. And if you just write AV valve instead of giving a special name, that is perfect. And now about the circulatory system. In the circulatory system, I will be mostly talking about the arch of aorta. I can ask what is the structure that is labeled 5. So this is the descending part of the arch of aorta. And what is the structure that is labeled 19? So this is number 19, and this is the common carotid artery, the left common carotid artery, and this is the left subclavian artery. So this is the left subclavian artery, and I can ask you, what is this artery? It should be very easy. It's in the arm, brachial artery. And this is the inferior vena cava, this is the superior vena cava. So this is the subclavian artery that is going into the upper limb, and as it goes into the axilla, it is called axillary artery, and then later on, when it is in the arm, it is called brachial artery. And similarly, so let me tell you which ones I am likely to ask. I am likely to ask subclavian artery, the common carotid artery. This is the common carotid artery number 18, so this will be, and I can ask you which parts of the body is supplied by the common carotid artery, that you can quickly refer to the list that is given. To the face by external carotid artery, internal carotid artery goes to the brain. And question could be also that read the labels of the two arteries that supply to the brain. So you can just read number 18 and subclavian artery. Yeah, you can just say branch of subclavian artery or branch of number 46, which is a vertebral artery, but it's not very clear if this is the. And then I can ask you what is this artery. This is the abdominal part of the aorta, and it divides into two common iliac arteries, and those common iliac arteries further subdivided into external iliac artery, and this number 73 could be a question: what is this artery? External iliac artery.
Iliac?
Yeah. And also the portal system is also important, because this is the only vein that is going into an organ. So I can ask you, what is the function of a structure labeled 59, or the part of the circulatory system labeled 59? This is the hepatic vein that is going into the liver to perform the part of the hepatic system. So this is important. And the external iliac artery, this one is important. I can ask you what are the branches of the arch of aorta. So for that you can say brachiocephalic artery and right subclavian and right common carotid. It has 3 branches.
What was the first one?
Brachiocephalic. And the left common carotid and left subclavian. Yes. And brachial artery, that would be this artery right here.
So there's 3 that branch off of the.
Yeah, 3. There's 3, because there's a common origin for the left side, and on the right side there are 2 arteries. There's exception here, because the common carotid and subclavian arise from one artery on left side, and on the other side they arise separately from the arch of aorta. So arch of aorta has 3 branches.
How many questions do you have on the test?
You'll have just maybe 5 of this and 5 of the slides. So there'll be question number 1, name this structure, the ventricle, and what is the function of the ventricle to pump the blood into the systemic circulation. This is the left ventricle because it has the thickest wall. What will happen if this chamber is not working properly? It will cause severe, it will cause a threat to the life, because it is the major pump of the heart, the left ventricle. And if it doesn't work, the circulation will not take place. And you can have the atrium, right and left. What are the veins that are received by the right atrium? So questions: AV valve or ventricle. AV valve on the right side, left side. Atrium on right side, left side. The semilunar valves. And then you can have this can be also selected from the branches of the arch of aorta, brachial artery, the hepatic vein. So these are the important questions: hepatic vein, external iliac artery, the branches of the arch of aorta, and these what are the arteries that supply to the artery? Name one artery because the other one is not very visible. So you can just pick up the common internal carotid artery, which will be number 18 is the no, it is 18A is going into the brain. It is the common carotid artery. It is this is the common carotid artery is branching into external and internal. So this is the internal going into the brain.
It should know just this.
Yeah, yeah, this
The
just
two branches of
yeah, this one, 18A. 18A is the internal carotid artery. Is there any more? Do you have any more question, or are you clear about what may be asked? I will double check which one is on the right side and left side in a second, because if I give you wrong information, if you write that, so that won't be good. Which one is the right side and which one? How many are on the right side, and how many are on the left side for the branches of the arch of aorta? I'll just double check and let you know in a second.